Before I get started with this story, let me give a shout out to Rage96 on Twitter for sending me this story, and it is coming out of California. And I'm going to touch a little bit more about California, and I don't know what kind of mothers they got out there based on a story that I just did about this. So in this picture, you see a woman by the name of Shannon Marie O'Connor, and she was charged for allowing her teenage son and his friends to host drink and sex parties. And get this, she oversaw all of that. So she was basically paying for this and being entertained at the same time. But keep in mind, this is her teenage son that we're talking about here. Now, I just did a story about a woman in California who had one son who was killed, and she got an almost $5 million settlement, and she was using that money to basically buy guns and traffic weapons to her 14-year-old son in the gang he was affiliated with. I don't know what it is with some of these California mothers, but I don't know if it's something in the water or whatever the case may be, but they got some issues out there. A 47-year-old mother has been charged with allowing her teenage sons to host sex and drink parties at which minors were allegedly assaulted, and which she is also accused of watching. Shannon Marie O'Connor of Los Gatos, California, was arrested on Saturday in Idaho and charged with endangering or injuring the health of a child. She is also charged with felony offenses including child abuse, sexual assault, and providing alcohol to minors for hosting the parties, which she attempted to keep a secret, according to the criminal complaint filed with the Santa Clara County Superior Court. The mother of a teenager is being accused of hosting alcohol-fueled sex parties for him and his friends, and then facilitating and watching their sex acts, some of which were non-consensual. O'Connor, age 47, allegedly encouraged sex acts among the teens who are in the age range of 14 and 16 years old, like her son. How ironic, the one about the mother I was talking about, her youngest son is 14, and the oldest one who was killed was 16. Both in California. And sometimes watched as well. The parties allegedly took place starting back in June of 2020 until this past spring. O'Connor discouraged the teens from telling their parents or anyone else about the party, saying she could go to jail if anyone was told, and even badgered a 14-year-old girl whom she believed was an informant, according to the statement of facts filed by the Santa Clara County District's Attorney Office. The DA also alleges O'Connor dissuaded the minors from calling for help or the authorities when one of them passed out in their own vomit after drinking too much. It took a lot of brave children to come forward and to untangle this deeply disturbing case, District Attorney Jeff Rosen said in a news release from the DA's office. As a parent, I am shocked. As the DA, I'm determined to hold those adults who endanger children fully accountable to the law in our community. O'Connor provided alcohol, including beer, vodka, and Fireball whiskey, and handed out condoms to the underage party guests, the DA claimed in the release. In some cases, O'Connor would Snapchat or text teens to leave their homes in the middle of the night and drink at her home. The list of accusations include multiple occasions in which O'Connor allegedly urged intoxicated minors into sexual situations, even watching and laughing as a drunk teen sexually battered a young woman in bed during a party on New Year's Eve. Do y'all hear that? She actually got entertainment watching these kids act wild in her home. This grown woman who's almost 50 with teens as young as her two sons engage in that type of activity. It's almost like it's almost like she was damn near running a teenage brothel over there, just without the pay. Authorities also allege O'Connor brought an intoxicated male teen into a bedroom where a drunk 14-year-old girl was lying in bed. Authorities say the girl asked her, "Why did you leave me in there with him? Like, why did you do that? Like, you knew what he was going to do to me." O'Connor, who now lives in Idaho, is awaiting extradition to California for an arraignment. Also faces felony fraud charges for making over $120,000 in unauthorized charges on a corporate card from a previous job. It was not immediately clear if O'Connor had engaged legal representation to comment on her behalf. Listen, this woman is treacherous to have all of that going on. The part that got me was when she was saying that she would convince these kids to leave their homes in the middle of the night to come over there. And I bet you she probably said something very persuasive in order to get them to leave their homes in order for them to go over there and engage in these acts. I don't know why in this picture it looked like she's trying to, like she's producing tears. I mean, she wasn't crying when she was doing what she was doing. She was laughing. She thought it was funny. She thought it was entertaining. But this woman right here is all the way off her damn rocker for her to even think and then later conceive the idea, the notion to do and engage in this type of activity with these children. The only thing we didn't hear is that she actually did anything inappropriate with them. Well, if she drank with them, that would be on the basis of inappropriate, because as an adult, why is she drinking with minors? And then she said that she invited a 16-year-old to go in the room with a 14-year-old and engage in sexual activity when she's drunk. Like, it's so many wrongdoings in this story, it's not even funny. And I hope they throw the whole library at her ass when the time comes. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments.